Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. I'm G&G and in today's episode of Sleeping Giant we are looking back at pre-season here at Bordeaux ahead of season 5, and it's been a summer of change at the club. We have brought in new players, we have a new tactic, we have a new assistant manager, and the owner is trying to sell up. So yeah, it's all change at Bordeaux ahead of this 5th season for us here. And as you can see there on screen, the owner is willing to listen to offers for the club, and a takeover broke down during the summer, and he is looking to sell up and get out of here. So hopefully it's going to be a wealthy owner that takes over. But this summer we did spend some good money on bringing in new players, and if we look here, transfers in, 41.5 million spent to bring in players, 4.5 million brought back in. We didn't really sell many players, but we tried to build this squad, build some depth, and hopefully overcome the slump we had towards the end of last season. So first player up is Luis Fernando, who is a Brazilian striker we signed from Atletico Mineiro for 13.25 million. And if we look at Luis here, very good striker, another young striker with plenty of potential ability, but already a really good player. 15 finishing, 12 composure, 15 pace, 15 acceleration. He's going to be a real threat. Technique of 16 as well, and still you see those arrows going up, lots of potential to grow. And we compare him with the other young striker we signed last season in Palacios, who the Argentinian youngster. You can see it's very close between them. Fernando just needs that season probably of European football that Palacios has to catch up. He is beating them on speed. It's very close on technical, very close attacking. So it's just a couple of differences. We compare the attributes there. Just a couple of differences between the two players, but those two could link up. Real competition now with those two, Bazdar up front, and yeah, that could solve our striking issues for this season. Next up is our biggest signing of the summer and our club record signing. It's Fabio Carvalho from Liverpool, and he comes in for 21 million. A big signing for us. Comes in as to play on the left or right wing in our new tactic, which we'll get to in a moment, but he looks a very good player for us. Lots of clubs were after him, we managed to get him, and 21 million looks a good enough deal for him. 16 dribbling, 15 technique. We look at the vision of 14 as well. That all looks good for me. Acceleration and pace is good. Crossing at 12, a little bit of a worry, but hopefully it's good enough for us in our tactic. And we're just going to compare him with Pablo Moreno, who can play on the left side as well. I compare him to Pablo, you'll see he's a much better player. You see, there we go. Although there's bits where Pablo is probably ahead of him, but to be fair, Pablo is going to play more up front, but he is the cover for Fabio if needed. But yeah, a really good signing for us, getting him in from Liverpool. Next up is a free signing from Real Madrid, and it's Renier. Comes in on a free and pretty low wages. He'll give us backup depth in midfield, and he has plenty of quality, passing of 16, technique of 16, and a good first touch as well. We just need him. He'll play games this season. Hopefully he'll continue to develop. He is still only 24, so he probably has a little bit more development to do, but he's very close, I'd say, to his full potential. And we compare him to the man he'll probably be backing up in midfield in Onahai. And you can see Onahai has the edge on him in technique and attacking, but it's very close to everywhere else. And they are two good options for us in that attacking midfield role in our midfield. Next up is a loan signing from Bayern Munich with a 1.6 million loan fee, and it's Lovro Zivonarek. I hope I'm saying that right. Croatian right winger, right or left winger. You can play either side, a bit like Fabio Carvalho. So we have two options there on either side. He comes in with a pretty big wage of 24,000 per week, which we are paying. We got him in a loan though, real quality player. And if we compare him with Carvalho as well, of course, Carvalho, who we paid 21 million for, he's coming in on loan, and we can see he is better than Carvalho, more rounded player than Carvalho, and those two on the wings for us in our new tactic, which we will get to, don't worry. But yeah, those two on the wings should provide us plenty of attacking threat, and that's what we wanted. Next up is a loan signing again. We've tried to bring in a few loan signings, but these two were the only ones we got across the line. As Diego Montero from Leeds United, 1.4 million loan fee for him. He comes in as a centre back, giving us more depth in that centre back position. 21-year-old Swiss centre back, and yeah, he'll be more or less back up at the moment. If we compare him with Viatek, who is the main centre back we have, He comes in to give us more options in the centre-back positions, and there we go, we see Viatek well ahead of him. But he's not too far off, and he would be a good backup to come in. As I said, we want to rotate the team more this season in the Conference League and towards the end of the season as well, so we don't slump again. So important to have him there as another option in centre-back. And our final signing of the summer was Luis Jr. from Bayer Leverkusen for 4.1 million. He comes in as our second goalkeeper behind Muric, although he could be ahead of Muric because he's really, really good goalkeeper. And look at his attributes there, really good rounded goalkeeper. For the fee we paid for him, pretty good player to have in. And we compare him to Muric, who had a slump towards the end of last season, which I was a bit worried about. He didn't have much competition in Muric, and if you look there, Luis is very, very close to being ahead of him. And I think, you know, he could take over as number one at some point this season. We're going to play Luis Jr. in all of our Conference League games for sure. Play him in some league games, cup games and all that. And by the end of the season, he could be our number one. In terms of players who left, no huge names. Mostly young players we sold or loaned out. The biggest name we sold was Bajai, who was here from the start. We sold him to AEK Athens for 2.1 million. And no real position with him, with Fernando coming in, and sold him on for 2.1 million. We signed him, of course, for 1.5 million, and a little bit of profit on that, but not much really when you take into account his wages and that. But yeah, that was the biggest signing out of the summer. And if we now take a look, we're going to take a look at our brand new tactic that I've come up with during the summer. It's hugely game changing. We're going back to a 4 at the back. I think it might give us more solid defensively, and two centre midfielders in Thorsby and Onahai who will start their regular. Rainier will be the backup for Onahai, and I'll get to who will be backup for Thorsby will be in a moment. Then we have our two new wingers in Carvalho and Zivonrik, and then up front Bazdar and Luis Fernando at the moment because of an injury to Palacios in pre-season. He's only coming back and he will not be fit for the very start of the season, but he will probably come in ahead of Fernando with that swapping around, and Moreno as well. So we have 4 good strikers and plenty of options. We're going to be on the balanced mentality as well. We're going to try and be more solid this season and not lose as many games. I think if we can be solid, maybe come away with draws instead of losing games and just keep up in that table. You know, Champions League football is the aim, so hopefully we have enough quality in this squad and in this tactic to do that. If we have a quick look at the season preview, you'll see we actually are predicted by the bookmakers to finish in 8th position, 50 to 1 to win the title. We're predicted to finish 8th position, which will be outside of Europe, of course, but the media are predicting us to finish in 6th, so they have a bit more faith in us, and hopefully we can finish ahead of both those predictions and finish in the top 4, get back into Champions League contention, either qualifying round or into the main draw. As I said, I just wanted to talk about some players, young players we're going to have in our squad. This is the squad we're going with for the season. There are 26 in it at the moment, I think, 26 or 27. And there's a couple of very promising young players in the squad. And one of them is our winger. He'll be the backup winger on either side as well. It's Liam Laporte, who is a French player coming through our youth academy. He actually picked up an injury in a game we'll get to in a moment. But yeah, he'd missed a couple of the games at the start of the season. But he looks a promising young player. We're going to give him plenty of opportunities to play in the Conference League, probably in the league as well, and yeah, hopefully he continues to develop, but he looks to be a real promising young winger. And then the backup to Thorsby is going to be Ivan Torres, who is another young player coming through our academy, and he is going to be backup. He was out on loan last season, done really well, has been developing, and I think get him plenty of game time, both Conference League, in the league, as back coming on as substitutes in games, starting some games. And yeah, we have Sissoko there as well as a backup, but I really want to try and develop Torres. So that is the squad we are going with, and a quick look at our pre-season in terms of games played. We did a tour of Argentina, won all 3 games in that. We came back home and lost to Fiorentina 1-0, drew at Wolfsburg 0-0, lost to LASK from Austria 2-0, and then we beat Stuttgart 3-2 in a friendly, and that was our friendlies done for the pre-season. We have played some competitive games though. We took on an Icelandic team in the Europa Conference League, 3rd qualifying round, and we won both legs 4-0. Goals in the first leg for Gaspar, Onahai, Thorsby and Laporte, and in the second leg when we played a backup team, we got 2 goals for Palacios coming back from injury, for Apoku as well, and Rainier got his first goal for the club in injury time. So an 8-0 aggregate win there put us through to the 4th qualifying round of the Conference League, where we will take on Grasshopper Zurich in that to try and get into the Conference League phase main draw. And that's where our season will start in the next episode. We will play our league opener at home to Nantes, who actually lost their manager in the week before the season started. He resigned and have a new manager in charge now, so hopefully we can take advantage of that upheaval against Nantes, a team of course who finished in the league ahead of us last season. And then we play the first leg of that Europa Conference League fourth qualifying round tie at home to Grasshopper Zurich. If you did enjoy this preview of Season 5 here at Bordeaux, please drop a like on the video. Don't forget to leave any feedback you have in the comments. Let me know in the comments who you think the best signing of the summer has been and your prediction of where we will finish this season. Don't forget to also hit the subscribe button. Really helps the channel to grow and helps you to catch every video that's posted. Videos are posted Monday to Friday 6 PM Irish time, and subscribing will make sure you get the notification of when they're up. There's a playlist on the channel if you want to catch up on anything we've done here at Bordeaux so far. So until the next episode when we get Season 5 kicked off, please take it easy.